Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 7 of my channel, my journey. Uh, this channel focuses on a small account trading, mainly selling Robinhood, selling options in Robinhood through either put credit spreads or selling cash secured puts. A little bit of the wheel strategy that hasn't worked out so far. I have some experience trading. I've been trading for a while, but never never really got into selling options much. But this account started out. I probably started with about 11,000 because I add a little bit every once in a while. I add a little bit of money in there. But you can see I started this account early September. Uh, from then until now, uh, it's down 1.2%. In the last year, it's going to be the same. Year to date, it's down big. It's down 16% year to date. Now, I haven't closed those, so they're not realized yet, and I think I'm going to be okay on them. 3 month is down 7%. 1 month is down 13%. 1 week is down 1.3%. So you kind of get the picture here. If you go back to my highest balance, it would show $14,218. So in essence, I'm down almost 3,000 from then. Again, not realized losses, but still not fun to look at an account that's down from what it should be. This week, let me go back to last week because I didn't put this in last week. This is my spreadsheet I've been using. I found this on another person's YouTube channel, so I can't take credit for this. But last week on selling cash secured puts, covered calls, I lost $175. That these are realized gains and losses. So I lost 175 realized, and that was Lyft. I closed out Lyft. It was going to expire today actually, and I didn't want to get assigned the shares, so I sold those for a pretty good loss. I paid 103 or sold them for 103, paid 325. Put credit spreads, I made $24 last week on them. So not a good week last week, but I kind of sat on the sidelines just because of where the market's at. Um, it's kind of just hanging out in limbo, just chopping around in a small channel. So I'm going to wait until I know what it's going to do or get a better sense of what it's going to do before I decide to make any moves. But this week I did close out. Let's see, from the 16th to the 20th, I closed out. I actually entered SPY last Friday. A SPY put credit spread. Entered it for 65. And I put my target at 60% of my max profit. So closed out at 20 cents. So I made $45 on that. Let's see, I opened it on Friday and closed it on the 18th, which was Wednesday. So basically 3 trading days, made 45 bucks. And I know that's a small amount, but that's what I'm going for with a small account. And also, I haven't traded put credit spreads much, so I'm kind of easing myself back into it. But you can see here, this column is the collateral that is held for these trades. This is the profit and loss on each of the trades. How many days I had held the trades, and this is showing 5 days because it's counting Saturday and Sunday. This is how much it made per day, price per day, or profit per day. Uh, Return on collateral, so that's the profit. Uh, that would be the collateral divided by the profit, or profit divided by collateral, whichever way that works. And this would be the total annually if you did that every day. Uh, this is kind of meaningless, I think, but that's what was in there when I got this. So, um, but yeah, so I made $24 last week in put credit spreads and lost 180 or 175 in the cash secured puts and covered calls. Now this week, I haven't calculated this yet this week, but let's go ahead and do that now. From the 16th to the 20th, anything I closed out, and this is a column for close. So anything I closed from the 16th to the 20th, um, I don't see anything actually. I didn't close anything out from the 16th to the 20th. So I would have zero profit, zero loss this week. Now I did enter a couple more trades, and we'll go over that shortly here. Put credit spreads. I made $85 this week, and that's realized profits. I closed. What are we looking again? 16th to the 20th. I closed SPY. I opened on the 13th. Closed the SPY put credit spread that we already talked about. And then on Wednesday, I opened an Amazon put credit spread and closed it today. It hit 60% of my profit. This was actually more than 60% here. This was 60%. So I made $40 on that in 2 days. You can see again here, held 685 collateral, made 40, held for 2 days, $20 per day, basically 5.8% on collateral, and 1,065. So I made $85 this week. Uh, so back to what I entered this week. I entered, I bought another SoFi, or sold another SoFi put. I sold a 1750 that expires March 6th. I collected $38 for that. Um, it wasn't so much to make $38 as it was to, let's see if I can grab another 100 shares down at this level. If I don't, if it doesn't close in the money, it expires worthless, fine, I'll keep my $38. This one I will not put a sell order on because I don't care if it goes to zero. I don't care if it goes to 100. It doesn't matter to me because I'm going to ride it out till expiration anyway. So I'm not putting a close order entry on this one. Uh, SoFi call here I bought or sold a couple weeks ago. Actually, I bought the SoFi call, $25 call, for 335. I'm still holding that. So let's go back to here. You can see this is a screenshot from my video from last week. I was at 11,500, so I'm up $100 from last week. I'm holding, um, and I should add, I threw in a little bit of money into my account this week. That's why it's showing. That's why I had a loss, but my account balance is higher. I threw in $300, so that's why it's the math isn't working if you're trying to figure it out in your head. So, um, still have the 200 shares of SoFi. I'm down quite a bit on those, but those are actual shares. They don't expire, so my average cost is 26.66. I'm down $1,500 on them. I've been selling calls against these along the way. I'm not selling any currently because uh, I'm only able because I have to sell. I don't want to. I don't want to have these called away from me for less than the 26.66 I'm into them for. So I'd have to sell the $27 calls, and it that far out of the money. I'm only getting $10, $12 unless I go way further out on the or on the expiration. But so I haven't really done anything with these. They're just sitting there hanging out, waiting until we get some upwards movement on them. TQQQ, $50 calls, have 11 months left on them. They're down quite a bit, um, but I don't know. When I got into these, I didn't really know TQQQ that well and the whole rebalancing thing. So this might come back to bite me, but it'll be a learning lesson. Um, I think I'll get some of this back, but I don't know if I'll be able to get back to even on them. Uh, it's the same situation. I could sell calls on it, but I'd have to sell, I don't know, $57 calls to be able to let these go and break even. Probably even closer to $60 calls at this point. So I'd have to sell so far out of the money that I'm not going to really get anything for them. And once we start seeing some upwards movement, I may go ahead and sell calls against them. Um, but right now, I'm not seeing any bottom in sight. Every time I think I see a bottom, next day it goes lower. So I mean, we got a little bit of a bounce today, but it seems like we get that, and then Monday it'll drop again. So I'm waiting until we get a more solid foundation before I start selling calls against these. and only because I'll get a little bit more premium if I'm selling calls on a green day. Uh, Here's the $25 SoFi calls that I bought that I've had for a while. They expire in December. I'm down on these quite a bit also. Uh, Down $570 on two of them. Average cost is 555. They're at 271 right now. So I'm pretty confident SoFi is going to turn around. Um, and this is one I just sold today that I mentioned earlier. So that's kind of where we're looking right now. But I did work on something yesterday. I worked on a uh, some indicators and some scanners for some. I have a list of about 10 to 15 stocks and indexes, and I have some stuff set up on the charts, looking for entries on some put credit spreads or even some selling some puts, cash secured puts. Right now, nothing is anywhere near ready to do anything. So, um, I'm not even gonna. I'll show you that chart real quick. Where is it at? Why did it sign me out? Because I was on this earlier. Here it is. So this is what I have here. Um, you got SPY. These are signals that say that it's okay to go ahead and get in a put credit spread. I'm going to analyze these myself before I just follow these blindly. But QQQ, IWM, and if you look at them, it looks like it would work out pretty good. This one here obviously probably wouldn't have. If I go about 10 days out on expiration, my entry would have been here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, that one would have worked out. This one would have worked out. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I probably would have worked out on this one. So just about all these alerts probably would have worked out for me. So, but that's what I'm playing around with just to try to get more alerts. Because currently I've just been looking at a few different symbols and seeing if I like the chart without really looking at any indicators. And I've traded in the past just based on price action with no indicators. For a while, I traded with not a single indicator on my charts, and I did okay with it. But my problem was kind of a lack of discipline. I was buying calls and I was buying short-term calls, and they were expiring before they'd expire, and 2 days later they'd pop. And I wasn't disciplined enough to buy some more time. Um, I was trading with a much smaller account, so uh, I just didn't really play it the right way. But these ones I threw a few indicators on and set alerts for when those indicators are all true. And I'll check them every day. I'm running it off a daily chart, so I'll check them every day. And at the end of the day, see how they look and see if it's something I want to get into. But again, if you take a look at it, uh, it looks like. Let me see if I can pull up my trading view on here. Nah. All right. Let me find it on the other. Back where it was. Um, yeah, I have my list of all my stocks, all my tickers over here, and reset. I haven't used TradingView in a long time, but I have these set up. I created these that will create these alerts. This one here is for safe for cash secured put entry. These ones show when it's better set up for put credit spread. Um, Really, I think really the only difference is that the put credit spread only really cares if the market's going to be flatter, where the cash secured puts, it looks for more movement, where you're going to get more upwards movement. And I don't really know why, and I'll be honest, Chat GPT helped me with it, helped me design it. I kind of put in what I was looking for, what parameters I wanted, and it kind of wrote it for me. And this is what it came up with. So I'm based on my interaction with Chat GPT. That was basically what it looked like. Was the put credit spreads was looking for just flat movement, where the cash secured puts was looking for more of an upward movement. So, but like I said, if you go back and look, this is IWM. That would have been a good one. That would have probably been a good one. That would have been a good one. This would have been a good one. I don't really see any that would have been bad entries. Apple, that would have been a entry would have been right here. Go out about 10 days. That would have been a winner because my stop would have been probably down around here somewhere. Uh, I don't know where it would have been, but my stop would have been down around here. My stop is the price of my um, put that I sold. So if I sold let's say on Apple, if I sold a 250 and bought a 240, my stop would be at 250. On this entry, I wouldn't have sold a 250 because that's just too tight for me. But even if I did, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days would have closed right here, which would have been uh, out of the money, would have closed expired worthless. So that would have been a max profit on that one. So uh, it looks like I have pretty good parameters in here. I think most of these would have worked out. Uh, Now, if you're going longer term, and I did tell ChatGPT that I was looking to trade about 10 days to expiration. Um, I'm sure if I would have made it 30 days to expiration, it would have changed all these. So I don't know how different it would have looked at that point, but to me, it looks like almost every single one of these would have been winners. They could have been losers if I closed them early, but I'm I think I'm disciplined enough now to let them ride and not close them. So, but anyway, that's my video for this week. I'm hoping for some type of reversal at some point, uh, so we can start. I can get this balance back up again. I mentioned last week about maybe doing a futures channel, or keep them on the same channel, and just make sure I note in the title that whether it's futures or options. Um, I took out. Let me see. I'll pull the chart up here for you, or not the chart, but this is my payouts. February 6th, February 4th, I requested a $500 payout. February 6th, requested an $800 payout. I had one today that was real close to. It was actually over the limit for the payout. The threshold is at 52,600. I was at 52,008 something, and I needed either 1 or 2 more days of trading. So you have to have 8 trading days on these to be able to get a payout. Um, I Fridays aren't great, but I went ahead and put it in with something I thought was safe. Ended up losing almost $500, so now it's below that threshold. So next week I'll get that back above the 52.6, and I'll request another payout. And this account here, you see these are two different accounts. This account here is really close. It's Actually, this account here is above the payout threshold, but I don't have enough trading days, so I just need to trade a few more days on that one. I have a third one that is pretty new. I still have a ways to go before it's eligible for payout. And I just passed an evaluation account today. So next week I'll have 4 real money accounts. If I can start collecting 500 a month off of each one, that would be really nice. You know, I think this one here, I requested a payout on the 6th. I think middle of next week I'll be able to request a payout on this one again, and same with this one. So not quite a whole month I could request a payout. I could request a payout at this rate about every 3.5 weeks. But even if I do one a month, $500 each with 4 accounts, $2,000 a month. So Like I said, I could do a channel on that if you'd like. Here's my balances. Um, like I said, this one has to be at 50, they all have to be at 52.6 to collect the payout, to request the payout. This one's still 52.8. I didn't trade it today. This one is down to 52.335, so I need to gain another 250 or 265 on this one next week. And this one I didn't trade on today either, but it needs another $1,300 before it's eligible for payout. So anyway, that's my futures side of things. Um, I also am thinking about transferring money into another Robinhood account. Now, if I do that, it'll be a bigger account. Uh, I don't know if I want to do that yet. Uh, Currently, it's just in a kind of like a money market fund, just collecting money on long-term stocks. Um, I may roll that over to another Robinhood account and trade that. The only issue is that is an IRA account, and you can't have level 3 options in an IRA account, so I would have to be a little bit different. I'd have to do a little bit different trading style. Um, so I've been considering doing that, and if I do, I'll keep you guys. I'll include that as part of the video, the weekly video. But it will be a little bit different trading style. I'll probably just trade the wheel strategy. You're not allowed. My understanding, you're not allowed to trade any credit spreads in an IRA account. So I would only be selling cash secured puts and running the wheel strategy, buying leaps, and I think I can sell leaps against those, or sell calls against those leaps. And if you're not sure what leaps are, don't ask me what it stands for, but it's basically about 1 year out. Buying calls about a year out, which is what this is and what this is. These were leaps. You can buy them way out in the future and sell calls against them, which I've been doing. And if you can get consistent with it and do it every day, eventually those leaps that you bought will be almost free. So, I paid $1,700 for this one. If I was able to sell calls against it every week and not have a loser, in the end, I might only end up paying $200 for that call, but so I'd be able to recoup 90% of my money. So anyway, this isn't professional advice. It's just my account, showing you what I'm doing. Please like, subscribe, and share. Um, Maybe Sunday night or Monday morning I'll do a futures thing, and we'll get that rolling. Let me know in the comments if it's something you'd like to see or not. If you're not interested in futures, nobody's interested in futures. I don't know if I'll spend the time to do another video, but if enough of you comment and request it, I'll do it. So let me know in the comments. Like I said, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.